Have you ever stopped to truly define endgame in the world of PC building? We toss that word around constantly. Endgame mouse, endgame keyboard, endgame build. It's supposed to represent a final destination, that elusive point of pure satisfaction where the constant, nagging itch to upgrade finally, mercifully, falls silent. It's a feeling we relentlessly chase, pouring thousands of dollars into pursuit, snagging the newest graphics card, the speediest processor, the custom sleeve cables. We assemble the perfect collection of parts we house in the chassis, and that's precisely where the illusion shatters. Because no matter how powerful, how endgame your components are, they're still just sitting in a box, a metal and plastic shell that, fundamentally, looks like every other box on the market. And the upgrade itch inevitably returns. Let me know in the comments if you've ever felt that feeling of immediate dissatisfaction after finishing a new build. But what if the box wasn't just a container? What if the chassis itself was the prize? What if it wasn't the last, forgotten item on your shopping list, but the absolute centerpiece? What if you acquired a PC case so absurdly over-engineered, so impossibly final, that it actually forced you to build a machine worthy of its presence? Today, we're not reviewing a computer case. We're looking at a commitment, a terminal point, a 50-pound die-cast aluminum monument to the very concept of endgame. This is the ASUS ROG Hyperion, the GR701. And this is a story of what happens when engineers are given an unlimited budget, and the single, uncompromising goal is to build the last case you will ever need. When this thing shows up at your door, you don't simply unbox it, you excavate it. The shipping carton is so massive you'll need to clear furniture just to make room. You immediately feel the presence, a dead weight of over 45 pounds empty. As you finally free it from its foam-lined tomb, the first thing that strikes you is the absolute silence it seems to impose on the room. It just has a presence. Run your hand over the top. That's not veneer. That's a massive, structural, die-cast aluminum alloy frame. The distinctive X shape that wraps around the chassis isn't a stylistic flourish. It's an exoskeleton, the load-bearing architecture the entire case is built upon. It's cold to the touch. The finish is immaculate, and there are no sharp edges or panel gaps. It doesn't feel manufactured. It feels forged. Now, look at the handles, which are cut from that same solid block of metal. You might think, oh, convenient carry handles. No, these handles are rated to support 80 kilograms or 176 pounds. Let's be crystal clear. ASUS does not expect you to carry a 176-pound computer. That rating is a promise. It's the engineers daring you to stuff this vault with the heaviest components known to man, daring you to install 2 full custom water cooling loops with massive copper radiators. The handles aren't for carrying, they're a flex. They're ASUS telling you, we are not messing around. And that's just the armor. Let's move to the front I/O, where the philosophy of this case truly reveals itself. You get your standard USB 3 ports and high-speed USB-C, but then you spot it. A second USB-C port with a small lightning bolt icon. This is a 60W fast charging port. Stop and internalize that. Your computer case is now a high-speed charging station for your MacBook Pro, your flagship smartphone, your Dell XPS. The Hyperion isn't a polite guest on your desk. It's asserting itself as a technological hub of your entire ecosystem. It's the first hint that the design meeting wasn't about what's practical, but what's possible. Now, the side panels. The tempered glass is thick, heavy, and tinted just enough to be mysterious. They're not held on with cheap thumbscrews. They're hinged, swinging open with the silent, weighted grace of a luxury car door. Lift them, and they detach cleanly from hinges. No tools, no fuss, just quality. But then you notice something underneath the main chamber, hidden in the PSU shroud. A small, flush panel. You press it and click, a drawer slides out. A built-in foam-lined section-off tool drawer for your extra screws, your M.2 standoffs, your zip ties. This is the moment you realize the designers weren't just engineers. They were builders. They understood the tiny, agonizing frustration of having that small plastic baggie of leftover parts with nowhere to live. They solved the scavenger hunt for a specific screw months later. It is the most unnecessary, most thoughtful, most ludicrously premium feature you've ever seen, and it is absolutely brilliant. But the outside is just the armor. The real story is inside. You open the doors and you're not greeted with a chassis. You're greeted with a void, a cavern of black, precisely machined metal. This case supports EATX motherboards, the largest, most complex motherboards you can buy. And when you install one, it looks normal. If you install a standard ATX board, it looks lost, like a tiny island in a vast, black ocean. This case insults small components. It demands scale. And scale is exactly what we get when we talk about cooling, the Hyperion's defining obsession. This chassis can house two 420mm radiators. To translate, a 420mm radiator is the largest consumer radiator made, requiring three massive 140mm fans. Most high-end cases are proud to fit one of these. The Hyperion says, "That's cute, put one in the front, and then put another one in the roof." At the same time, you can install a total of 12 system fans. This is an airflow. This is a wind tunnel. This isn't a cooling solution. It's a cooling commandment. The engineers were not aiming for low temperatures. They were aiming to achieve a private ice age inside your system. They designed this for an overclocked i9-14900KS and RTX 4090. Both push their absolute thermal limits with custom water cooling. This case is designed for a level of thermal load that 99.9% of users will never produce, and it is glorious. Now for the centerpiece, the reason we build, the graphics card. This is where the Hyperion destroys the competition. If you want to mount your massive GPU horizontally, the Hyperion scoffs, but provides. Built into the case is the most over-engineered all-aluminum anti-sag bracket you've ever seen. A tiny two-way adjustable jack stand that is a work of art in itself. But let's be honest. If you bought this case, you're mounting it vertically. You're going to proudly display your $2,000 investment. And this is where every other case fails. They give you a vertical bracket that shoves your card's fans right up against the side glass, choking and suffocating them for the sake of aesthetics. The Hyperion is different. The vertical mount is built in, and it leaves a 50mm gap, 2 full inches, of breathing room between your GPU fans and the glass. Your 4090 doesn't just survive, it breathes. It thrives. The Hyperion doesn't just support your vertical GPU, it showcases it. It builds a throne for it. It is, without question, the single best vertical GPU mounting solution on the market. Period. Finally, we go to the dark side, behind the motherboard, in a normal build. This is the side of shame, where you cram your cables, crush them with zip ties, and pray the side panel will snap back on. In the Hyperion, this side is a canvas. It's not a cable management channel. It's a canyon. There's a 34mm deep chamber for all your main routing, and next to it, a 46mm wide channel just for your massive 24-pin motherboard cable. You could run a garden hose back here and still have room. You don't manage cables in the Hyperion. You simply place them. There are integrated, ROG-branded Velcro straps everywhere, and a built-in, high-end ARGB and fan control hub is already installed and pre-wired. Then come the covers. A beautiful, semi-transparent smoked acrylic panel hides all of your routes, letting just a hint of your RGB shine through. It doesn't look hidden. It looks curated. The build process is not a chore. It is an absolute joy. The designers thought of everything. The PSU shroud has a cutout to show off your 1200W power supply's OLED screen. The front panel has a built-in ARGB display, and there's a vertical panel next to the motherboard where you can mount 3 more SSDs, or a water cooling distribution plate, or another 360mm radiator. Just because you can. This case is a trap. A beautiful, brilliant, glorious trap. You cannot buy the ROG Hyperion in a vacuum. You install your components, and you look at your 850W power supply, and it looks inadequate. You look at the stock cables that came with it, and they look cheap. You look at your 240mm AIO cooler, and it looks tiny, utterly lost in this massive black cathedral. The Hyperion forces you to be better. It demands more. You'll find yourself online at 3 a.m. shopping for a 1200W ROG Thor power supply, just so the PSU shroud cutout is filled. You will find yourself ordering a full set of custom, individually sleeved, color-match cables, because a case with this much cable management deserves it. You will find yourself For the first time, pricing out custom water cooling parts because a case that can hold two 420mm radiators should. This case is not a purchase. It is a commitment. It is the most expensive gateway drug in the PC building world. So we come back to the beginning. Who is this for? This is not for the budget builder or the value seeker. This is for the person who is done. This is for the builder who respects the craft and who enjoys the process of building as much as the final result. This is for the person who has been in this hobby for years and wants to build one last time. The ROG Hyperion GR7 01 is not a product. It's an endgame statement. It's a no-compromise build in a world full of compromises. Is it overkill? Yes. Is it absurdly expensive? Yes. Is it ridiculously heavy and large? Absolutely. And that is the point. You do not buy this case because you need it. You buy it because you want it. You buy it because you are ready for it. This is the final boss of PC cases. The only question is, are you ready to fight it? With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.